so much easier. You can just chat to people. You don't even have to ever
Yeah,
see
you
anybody
can just
again.
like chat to people. Yeah. It's like the introvert and home hermit's dream these days.
Yeah.
When I was a young man, we didn't have the luxury of doing nothing. We had no luxuries. It was uphill both ways to work and back, to school and back. I had to milk a cow with my feet because my hands were too cold from the snow.
Yeah, it's
So I
crazy.
was
Like,
in
oh, I
a
was there
yeah.
was like a joke going around with the old 2 Rand note in it. And like I went to a work colleague of mine, and I'm like, "Ah, do you remember the old 2 Rand note?" He's like, "No, no, I don't." And I was like, "Me neither, because I'm 25." But apparently there used to be paper money in the 80s.
That's so funny, eh?
Yeah, it was very
Tatum, are
funny.
you watching? I think I saw Tatum. Let me see. I saw somebody liked something there. Tatum. Tatum, are you watching? Let's see. I'd love to have Tatum on live. You'll love Tatum.
Oh,
She
invite
is.
her.
I'm gonna send her an invite and see if she can do it. I don't know. Internet might not be the best. So Tatum, I'm gonna send you a invite. You'll have to quickly install StreamYard on your phone or your PC or whatever. And then let me say, if you would like to join us
Pookie.
live on screen.
What you doing, Pookie Paw?
She is so cool.
That is cool.
Oh, she gave us a heart. That might be a good thing. Tatum is such a classy, fancy chick. Eh? It's so funny you there in the back with your massive painting.
Yes.
I dig
That's
it.
I
That's
would
so
love
cool.
that painting. I'd love to be able to paint like that actually. I
What?
think it's
You
David
can
Chu.
just
Yeah, I need to take time, like time to practice and that kind of stuff.
time.
And it's not.
Yes, you must take some time, man.
Yeah, I'm
Hello,
hoping.
Liz. I think Liz Ann's watching.
I can't see anybody. I can't see any of
I'm
that.
watching the. I've got my. Where's my phone? I was just looking on my PC, and then it says this one's watching or that one's watching.
Go.
Yeah, so people are starting to come on now. Look, there's 3 people watching now. See, that's why. So Michelle and I just sitting here chatting, being
Waiting for
awesome
people.
with our Nothing is Impossible winter fundraiser.
What's our plan? Are we gonna make candles?
Sell the candles. It's not a terrible idea. You're gonna make some candles. I can sell them for $1,000, 600 of those, and all our problems are solved. Well, for this
Okay,
month.
perfect.
Yeah, it's probably not a terrible idea to actually give people something that they can.
You know what might be nice? You must maybe try have a market at the church. Like you know how that Hercules vibe happens,
Yes,
but like
yes.
people try to do something like that. Because you've got the space. It just depends on what you want to do. Like,
Yeah, that's
because that's nice. And
yeah,
then
I
you get
think it would be
stalls too.
awesome. Eh?
Yeah, and you just get stalls, like the stalls pay you to have their stall there for the day.
Yeah,
I mean, because that's a big thing. It's
that's
like
it.
nice to have a little land vibe market.
But you need someone with passion to who can run a thing like that, and it's hard work, man. And you know how I feel
It
about hard work.
is. It is. Well, depending on what
It's
you're going to have at the
hard
market
work.
as well.
Check out this cool thing. Starting to get a little bit pro, yeah. See how cool we look. Look at that. It's got Overcomers, Unity. There's the website and stuff. Getting there. I know it looks a little bright for me at the moment, though, with the white background.
But
But
don't know. Change it.
yeah, well, It's a good start. We've got the Photoshop file, so my dudes this side can fiddle with it. But it's a good start. It's a good start. The start is good.
So
There's Jono. Yeah?
you were saying you have a cousin called Jaden, so we both have cousins called Jaden. That's funny. Or is
Well,
he?
you got more than one cousin called Jaden. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Interesting. When I was your age, I was the same age that you are now.
You
Yeah.
have to pick a topic.
Yeah, we do. I'm not sure what to chat about yet. I think it takes about. Usually, I've got some music playing or something. Maybe we must do that. I must put on a banging tune, yeah, and then we just sit and watch a countdown timer go down. What do you think of that idea?
I don't like that idea at all. I like to talk.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think I don't know. I'm hoping that Tatum can come on because it's always fun and we can interview someone. So let's see. There's 4 viewers. If you want to come on, just let me know and I'll send you a message. Just say in the comments, "Hey, I want to come on and chat," and then I'll send you a link to come and join us, and then Michelle will interview. What are you? Why are you? Why are you what? Turned down for what?
Who is that? Who is that?
It was a what?
I've got a wedding I'm going to, so I'm like, I need to decide what I'm going to wear. But it's very difficult because I don't normally wear dresses, so I'm not interested in buying a dress for the wedding.
Maybe you read the invite wrong. Maybe it said a dress and not a dress.
No. This is interesting.
Okay, so we'll see. Maybe Tatum's installing it. Maybe she's not. So okay, on my Happy Philanthropist profile, seems that's a place where people generally watch. There's a couple of people watching there. Richard Stratford. Hey, Richard. Now let's see. Tatum might pop on. We'll see. I actually need to plan these better.
You'll get better with time. It's only the second one.
Yes.
Or have you been doing this for a while?
No, it's only like second or third. I've done quite a few streams, but only for 2 days now. So getting used to this, getting people on, that's quite the challenge. You guys are welcome to ask questions and stuff in the comments, or just say how's it, or while we figure out what we do.
Also thinking live is not necessarily always the best. We might want to do some editing. Because no one's doing live streams. Well, you do, but it's risky. Anything could happen.
Well, we get a lot of success with lives there.
Do.
Yeah, because of the interactivity. But yeah, we do need to do some. So if you're watching, if you've got any suggestions on how we can do efficient fundraising and how we can grow our live and our Facebook followings and our YouTube followings and stuff, you're welcome to put some thoughts in, because we got a lot to do, man. We have to do fundraising all the time, and we could use some clever ideas. CLEVUR, clever.
Let's see. Ways I've thought about making money. I wanted to do bath bombs. I wanted to do candles. I wanted to do, I don't know. It's just like, I want money, but I don't really want to have to do anything for it.
Well, yeah, you can make lots of money we just chat, It's very efficient. We do well fundraising just with a lot of live videos, but we do need some kind of like pre-recorded content, I think, kind of
like interviewing cool people, getting some merch.
Some merch. Some merch. Do you guys like merch?
I think
Do you
everybody
even
likes
merch, bro?
merch.
Don't
Pretty cool.
besmirch the merch.
Yeah, I was like, so this is like off topic, but I was like totally irritated with the spa up the road because it's like they have a tops, but they don't have anywhere to recycle bottles. And I think any place that sells bottles needs to have a recycling bin for it because it's like, got to do your bit. It's, because I stress out. I'm getting anxiety with trying to recycle. And then Spa doesn't even have a bin for me to bring my glass to. I was like, no.
that that is so Michelle.
Because I don't know if you do you guys have the gentlemen that go through the trash and sort out the recycling?
Uh, no,
You're not sure.
we
You don't know.
don't.
Because now, yeah, in Joburg, it's like hectic. Like these people come and then they like, because a lot of people don't separate their trash. They just throw everything together. And I get freaked out that people have to dig through trash to just make a living. So I'm like trying to separate. And then like, it gets so hectic because then I fight with David. And then one day I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm done recycling. But then I can't do it. So I'm still like putting the stuff separate. And then I just dump it on the tray because it's like you can keep your gross in the bag, but everything else that's recyclable you can put on top. Like if you have black bags, those black bins that you take out.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember the suburbs, Andrew.
I do. I do. I recall the burbs.
Yeah,
Back in the day when I was in the burbs.
yeah, because it's
Burbs.
just people can do that. It's a little bit that you can do, but it's like that's how they get you. Like they get you. You're stressing about recycling, and then a big shopping places don't have any. Like, because Woolworths is one of the only places that have like where you can take batteries to, unless you find one of those big green ones. It's like crazy, man. I don't know. I think it's like in school they must have. Did you guys have ZB?
Yes, zip it
Yeah.
in a
So,
ZB.
so that must have messed because we used to go around town picking up trash, man. Like we're supposed to be in school and we're
Yes,
picking up trash.
like zip it in a ZB.
Yeah. Like kids nowadays. What are they doing?
Kids nowadays.
Schoolwork? No, they should be in the
Zip
public,
it in a
in the
ZB.
streets collecting trash. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Hey, if you're tuning in, say hello, and if you want to pop on and hang out with us live on video, do so. Michelle's got lots of questions to ask you. I'm just gonna sit here and look like a tired Viking. That's my current job. Come help us. So by hanging out with us and commenting and stuff, you help us with the fundraising drive. We just came on, and I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do tonight. I'm hoping we run into someone interesting. Maybe Julie comes on. Maybe Kat comes on. Maybe Michelle talks about what the
Recycling.
fastest animal on the earth is.
Hmm.
Cole says
Yeah.
they see littering as job creation.
No.
Hey, Bongani, is your internet fast enough? Let's test his internet, man. I don't know how much data he's got there. Unless he's chilling, hiding away under a bridge here or something at Overcomers. I'm going to send him the linky. Bongani. He's an interesting dude there. Maybe he can he can give us a wisdom session. Control V. Boom. There we go. Let's see. Maybe Bongs joins us. I don't know if Cole wants to join us. How's your internet, Cole? Do you feel like joining us? Do you have load shedding? Is the shed loading you? Is there a potato in the squeegee guaca? It's so bad when you first starting, when you at the beginning of the night. So I'm gonna figure out what we can do. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look on the Google Drive because evidently somewhere on the Google Drive is that cool thank you video that they did. I'm having a look here. My Drive. What was it called? Operation Safe. Is it Overcomers?
You got weekend plans? Can I talk? Can you talk while you do
Yeah, yeah,
this,
yeah.
or do you
Yes,
need to
yes.
concentrate on that? What's
No.
plans for the
Weekend.
weekend?
I don't know. What day is it today?
I think it's Wednesday.
Oh, we're doing like a relationship seminar thing on Thingy on
Is it
Saturday.
for couples?
Yeah, so anybody in a relationship, yeah.
Awesome. You're gonna tell people about those their ANCs.
The anti-nuptials.
Yes.
No, but maybe if we should beam you in to talk about your belief in anti-nuptials.
No, but it's so you can keep your money safe from the banks. Do you know that if you get married without an ANC and then you try and apply for one, it's the banks that can actually deny it because they want someone to come after for your debt. I don't understand why people are not more like why is there such a stigma about why would you think there would be something against ANCs? Like, no? You don't think that that's like
No,
this is a game changer. People need to know about this. And then also,
yeah,
oh, is this
yeah.
not no? Okay, apparently no one wants to hear about that. Sorry about wanting people's lives to be better and not for you to be riddled with debt when the person you love dies.
Oh no. Yeah. No, I believe in the anti-nup. Mary and I married. It's an anti-nup with accrual. Or is it
Yeah,
without accrual? What's the
it's just
Bongali
like
says, I have data, but the lighting is terrible. We have no power here. Who's
shame.
watching, man? Someone must want to come on. There's Coach Cole. Hey, Cole, you want to come on? Let me send him a linky. Maybe he'll join us. Um, yeah. I think it's very wise. If you're going to get married, make sure that you're able to not be held accountable for your partner's business decisions, because then that gives both of you backups. You know, Mandy and I did that for sure. It's very risky being alive these days, you know.
Yeah, it's also just about like, a lot of people lose their identities and you shouldn't, I don't know. It's not even about that. It's about like, I don't know. But I find that like there's such a weird stigma about it when it's not. It's not like you're giving up power. You both have so much power with that. It's not like, oh, you don't love me or money and that kind of thing. But I don't know. There is a weird stigma on it. I know, but it shouldn't be. It's like, it's a game changer and it's the best decision for two people in a relationship,
Yeah, it is awesome. I
especially if
think
you're
it
going
is
to get
kind
married.
of. I think it is kind of popular. You know, I think just about everybody I know is married. Generally, when you go to the lawyer, let me see if Lungelo wants to join us. Maybe he's looking pretty. I think he's here somewhere, so his internet should be pretty fast. There we go. Mm, yeah, it is pretty. It's funny. He says ANCs against the ANCs.
I think it's got a bit of a stigma attached to the name.
Yeah, it's like as a married couple, have you considered the ANC? What?
Look, we're not a political couple.
Yeah, we're not a political couple.
We just love each other so much.
Well, I'm not sure I like the way this has been politicized, and I feel very strongly that we should just respect our beliefs
We're
and
in
keep it
love.
private.
It's just so scary what you don't know until you know it. And then even
Yeah.
wills, like if you have your wills done by a financial institution, they don't kind of have a cap. I'm also talking like from a little bit of what I know. Like they don't have a
Yes.
cap on what they can take when they help settle your estates, which means they can take a little bit more than they should, which anybody will do because that's how people are. But if you do your
Yes.
wills with attorneys, they're capped at like 3.5 or something like that,
Is,
which is good to know. And they
who's capped? Well, how do you mean capped? What does capped mean?
attorneys, like they
Yeah.
can only take like a certain percentage and they're capped. But a
Oh, I
financial
see.
institution, I think, can go a little bit higher. I'm not sure
Oh,
exactly.
I see.
Yeah, that's why a lot of attorneys might like offer to do your will for free, and then like you're gonna die
Yeah.
in like 100 years, and then they'll settle your estate when it happens in like 100 years, and then they can take 3.5%. Because
Wow.
that's a lot of people, it sucks because you don't think about these things. Like, I've never taken out a funeral plan either because I'm like, just leave my body at the morgue. We'll be fine. It's
Yes.
one of the last things I feel like the government can do for me. Thanks, guys.
Thoughts and prayers.
Oh my gosh. Oh, looking at this. This, can you see that? Nope. It's a
What
cat with
is that?
Crocs
The
on.
cat?
It's a
A
cat with
cat with
Crocs on.
Crocs. Oh, no. It's so funny. You disappearing and coming in, and your cat with Crocs with your painting in the fawn background.
Is the painting okay? I can change it.
That's
What other
nice. I like
picture
it.
have I got?
I wanna have a big splooshy picture behind me as well. Problem is when I activate this picture behind me, you guys must check this out. Here's my virtual background option. Then I don't know if this camera can find me. Check it.
But go
I
download.
need to get a green screen.
Yeah, you can get a different picture. You can actually
Yeah,
have
but
a picture of you behind you.
I can have a picture of me behind me. That's an awesome
Yeah.
idea.
I wonder if I can do this Batman one. Let's see here. I'll try to. But you have to get rid of the one that you have. So let's see here. Virtual background. Delete. Delete. Then I add one. I'm going to see if I can do the
Nobody's
Batmans.
commenting. Okay, ask questions, say stuff, dudes. Or are you just all chilling and listening? Yeah, let us know what you're up to. Are you just chilling? Are you just chilling and listening? So I wonder what the time is in States now. Let me ask Google. Hey, look, it's Batman. Batman. Is it Batman's or Batmen's or Batmen?
It's Batman's.
That's a bunch of Batmans.
I'm just going to be doing that for a little bit. What else have I got you? Have you seen this one? I wonder if this one will come. All right, I've got to do that
Yeah,
first.
it's 2 o'clock in the States now. Now I got to figure out that's one of the things that I'm trying to figure out, man, is how we can get more viewers on our activities. Is that oh, that's awesome.
I know.
Yeah, look at
Hey?
this is proof. This is proof that in the 80s and 90s movies were only representing men as powerful heroes.
No, but we were talking about it the other day, like, oh man, 80s and 90s movies are really entertaining, actually. Like some of the stuff you're like, why did I just do that?
Yeah, they're really cool. Hey, look, it's Lungi. Let me add him to the stream. Look there. I better just switch off that thing because we cut his face in half. So that's Brand, I think, yeah. So then I've got to hide that. There's Lungi.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good and subs.
Le Fantastic, which is French for fantastic. I'm just seeing what works lekker here. I think we can make Lungi big. Let's make Lungi big.
Made you big.
There. Hi, Lungi.
Hello.
The magnificent Lungelo. Let's check out. You got like a super white background. You can put a cool background on. So on this app, go to settings. Hey, Lungelo.
Okay.
So you go to settings, then you go camera. No. There's one there that says virtual background. So in your settings, it says virtual background. So with that background, you'd be able to put yourself in this lacquer lounge, or you can upload your own thing.
Yeah, I think you're going to have some pictures on your laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but I'm using my phone for now.
Yeah, so on
Ah,
your phone, are there any? Does it give you any options on your phone?
No, not on the camera. It just gives me camera facing front, camera facing
Oh
back.
no no. Okay, so I mean on the app, there's settings,
Okay.
and then it'll say virtual background in your settings. It says virtual background.
No, I just pushed the link. I didn't download the app. I'm using the internet link.
Oh, oh, that's
Yeah.
so it just invites you and brings you in, and you don't need.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. So people don't need whatever to whatever the thingy by the thingy and the thingy whatnot.
Yeah, as long as you got an internet browser, it just takes you to the studio.
there we go.
Sure. I didn't know it was that easy. So you just click the link and it brings you in. You don't have to install anything.
No.
Huh. That's cool. So where are you? You're on the land at the moment.
Yeah, I'm on the land. I'm up here.
Okay. Yes, that's a cool background there. That's like
Yeah,
just
I know.
it looks like you're in heaven. He's like speaking to us from heaven. So Kathy says, "Love you, Mishie Moo." Kath,
Oh,
is your makeup on? Do you want to come and join us and chat and hang out with me and Mishie and Lungelo? So as we're chatting away while the Facebook algorithm does its thing. Yeah, sometimes it takes a while before it shows lots of people that you live. It's so crazy.
well, you could also just go onto Facebook and start like, can't you broadcast a message like you do on WhatsApp?
I think you can start watching parties and stuff like that. You know.
Uh,
And I'm going to send Kathy an invite. Let's see. Maybe maybe she'll come on even though she's in her pajamas. Then okay, so go for it. This is your big moment, Michelle. Interview the lungi.
Hi. Lucky. So,
The
Oh my
lungelo.
well.
tell us what brought you here.
Is
Besides
this
that
my
there link on your
interrogation?
phone.
Is this my interrogation session?
It would appear
Yes.
so.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, Lungelo is a young, upcoming, crazy businessman who's in his 20s. And I mean, he's a mover and shaker. He flies places in chopper, and he. I mean, you know, we've got. We do we need to build a landing pad here again? Is that what you're saying, Lungelo?
Yeah, Opa said he will build one again.
Yeah, we definitely to
You
build
can't
a
just use the old ladder.
you got to use a ladder down from the chopper.
Like those rope ladders. I mean, if you're gonna
No.
chopper, you gotta chopper in style. Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Don't think about it again. It was a terrible idea.
Well, I could jump into the river. We have the river down here.
Yes. Or like
Yes.
have you seen those helmets for motorcyclists that actually like it goes you should do one
Yeah.
of those. As you hit the water, just a little boat pops up.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
could try that.
Well, the problem is this river's very shallow, so you know it. You know the difference between jumping into a deep river and a shallow river is if it's a deep river and you jump out the chopper, it's sploosh, and if you jump
Yeah.
into a shallow one, it's sploosh. You know,
So
yeah,
you said so Lungile, is that right? There's no
Lungelo. Yeah.
Lungelo. Okay,
Why
cool.
does
Sorry.
everybody call you Lungile? Lungile.
Lungile.
Yeah,
Because
that's
also
why my name changed to Lungi, because they used to say Lungile most of the time.
You must also remember there's nowhere, his name's not written anywhere. So I'm
Okay.
going on from
I'm
like my
gonna write his
memory.
name. Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't write your
Vangelo.
name on your way in, huh?
Yeah. So I can only see, like, I don't know if where there's supposed to be a name. Anyway,
I'll
so
create one.
Andrew says, so you say you're a businessman, but a young businessman, and you basically, are you an entrepreneur, or is it a business given down to you? What is it? Did you start yourself up?
Yeah, I started myself up from a farming background, and now I'm into food and beverages. So
Okay, okay.
it's it's a it's a food and beverages company. We started with cultivating. I started with cultivating, but I decided to move into something bigger because of some business
Opportunities.
initiatives. Yeah, some business initiatives that I believe that I can embark into. But at this stage, I'm just trying to build brands because there's more investment in brands. I realize food is food, but if you can develop a brand, then you start a relationship with your own market.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great. That's great. I like the sound of that. Oh, well, because I don't know, were you following us from when we started sitting here? Because I was mentioning to Andrew about maybe having a market on the land, because that would also be a great way to raise some money. And you can maybe get some brand awareness for some of your vendors. Is it like, because so from what I'm understanding, you're saying that so you're building brands now. So you met like a guy in KwaZulu-Natal that's busy making halloumi, and you're going to try build his brand. Is that kind of what you're saying, or not really? Not like
Uh,
specifically you have a cheese guy. I'm just saying, like, I'm a visual person, so I make little scenarios in my head.
yes. No, what I'm doing is we have been doing contract manufacturing, contract farming, and contract manufacturing for the big companies. And then we decided to build brands that are actually going to compete against those big companies.
Oh, awesome.
So, for instance, I'm working on um, a
You don't have to
little.
like share
I'm
everything.
working. I'm working on a fruit juice brand called Quench, and it's gonna hit the market, I think, in a matter of not later than 4 weeks now. It's gonna be in all like retail stores, shop rights mostly, because that's our biggest partner. But then
Awesome.
also Pick and Pay and everything. Like all the supermarkets in South Africa, and we had Smollen uh, pursuing us as well for taking the product out of the country, still sorting some exporting certificates there. But in terms of market, I mean, like we build brands that are going to, I mean, to like create a relationship between the company and their specific market. For instance, fruit juices are mostly for people who are not into sugars and the all the soft drinks and all of that. You prefer more healthier lifestyle, but still want to enjoy the refreshing taste of the beverage.
Yeah. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So you focus on beverage. What about the chili, man? When am I gonna taste some of that chili? Is it?
Yeah, the same thing applies with the chili. Well, there's not like a specific brand for chili. Chili is just a flavor, but we do have the sauces brands called condiments sauces. It's the Wells. The brand is Wells, but we categorize it as condiments, the products.
Mm,
And then there is
yeah.
like sauces, different flavors, and chili sauce is one of
Remember that
their
one that I
products.
told you? My daughter's friend made. This is Michelle's friend who made that chili. That what is it? Those hot sauces that you dropped off, Mishi.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
can't think of their names now, but they are in the fridge. It's one of David's work colleagues actually that started doing it on the side.
Mm,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
just
So
started making like
Lungelo's gonna do
paste
it on
now.
large scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh, so
couldn't.
you are Mish. Now I get who are you.
Yes, that's
I didn't
Mish.
have a
Yeah.
clue. I didn't have
Yeah,
a clue that you are the Mishi. Okay.
I am the
Yes.
Mishie. Yes, the Mishie.
Okay.
That's me. Yeah, I don't know what's been going on. I've been craving chilies, like, because we started growing Tabasco chilies a while ago. And obviously now we've run out, but I was craving them. And then, like, so I Googled what could it possibly be? It's like either you're dying or you're pregnant. I'm neither, so it's fine. I was just like, they were good chilies, and I'm like, I'm sure they must be addictive because they were really good. Just I went onto a tangent about chilies there. So it's it's terrible, like, because you're like, we're just trying to do this off the on the fly. But yeah,
I feel like
Yeah,
um,
overcomers need something like that. I don't know. Like we need
like a chili sauce
I don't
or
know,
like a.
some kind of something. Because
You
we
do
got the
need some
brains
sort
here,
of
I think.
merch. I think you definitely
Yeah.
need some sort of merch. Like I loved it when you guys had those t-shirts. I don't know if you remember you gave me a t-shirt that you had, and that was kind of nice to have. Like hoodies and t-shirts. I think it's cool to have like a shop with stuff,
Hey,
you know?
Lungelo. So
yes.
if I mean, I think at Overcomers we've definitely got the staff, the skills, the brain power and stuff to do something awesome, eh? If we do some kind of something, eh?
Yeah, we definitely do, especially because the brands I'm building are more. I've realized that the food market is more about the marketing than it is actually about food. That's why I shifted into building brands because I always thought as long as I have farms, I grow food. That's it. That's all you need. But I realized that to gain traction in the markets, you have to build brands. So what I have drafted is a proposal where in one of my products, actually most of them, we're gonna have like percentage that is going to be our CSI initiative. For instance, every bottle of juice that gets sold, 1 rand goes to EDCC or Feed 14K or whatever. That's what I'm working on at the moment. So I think we can create products like that. We can create those types of marketing strategies. I mean, KFC has done it with their 2 rands. Many companies have done it. I see Future Life has started with Nelson Mandela Foundation as well. So more and more companies, the Bonairs have their donation as well. They all have these fundraising campaigns. So I really believe we can do something like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because imagine, yeah, because I thought if we have some kind of product, some kind of something that we've got a good team here that we can do well with. I don't know, maybe books, or do people still? What do you do out there? Because I mean, I read my books on my iPad, so I don't know. So, like, what you do out there? How you like? What's the best commodity to sell? That doesn't require shipping.
I get all my books if I do get books, it's either online or it's secondhand because I'm like, uh, I'm
Because
not a
that get
person
expensive.
that can read a book twice. But there's people that do that.
Yeah,
Are you
because I mean,
guys
we can, like, let's say we do
two-time book
merch.
reader?
How do you? I mean, I wonder if there's online options for, because we can make cool merch, as overcomers. Um, but how? Like, it's more expensive to get the merch to someone than the merch actually costs. The
Yeah.
shipping costs are insane.
When it should be coming down because we're moving more towards online. I think I don't know, it should be coming down. Like you could even just have a truck. If you buy a truck and a guy that takes all the stuff to from Paris to Joburg, like to like a take a lot depot or something like that, or to I'm not sure what other ones there are, but there's a couple of now like lockers and stuff that you put stuff in. I don't. I'm not a very tech savvy
We don't know
person, as
anything
you can
about
hear.
business.
Yeah.
So Lingelo, you like doing the factory thing, and then you're realizing, okay, having the product doesn't necessarily mean moving the product. Like, it's really in a big way about marketing.
Yeah. Well, what I was doing before was more like contract manufacture. Contract farming. So, for instance, you will farm, but the product is not going to be yours. It's going to be purchased by a company, maybe like a silo or someone who is going to
Okay.
be supplying the FMCG companies. For instance, let's say you plant Millies, and then it's going to be Tiger Brands who's going to own that Millies when it's ready for harvest. But you have to sell it to the nearest supplier because they do not actually process anything themselves. And then that supplier will come and pay you and then buy the product and store it until the season. Tiger Brands will come and buy it from them, and then they will dispatch it off to Tiger Brands when it's ready, and then it will be processed, and then maybe it will be turned into cornflakes if they have a use for it, or it will just be turned into maybe let's say the mealie pap, like super maize meal,
Yeah.
or whatever that they want it to be turned into. But I realized that there is actually no money in that because if you go to the shelf and check the value of the finished product coming back to what they bought it from you for, you realize that
Yeah.
you've been scammed big time. So
Yeah.
I realized that if you build brands, because we can do that ourselves. You can process, or you can contract someone else to process something for you. But the problem starts because you don't have a brand in the market. So if you build a brand, if you own a trademark, you can do all the processing. You can farm. If you can farm, you can as well hire someone who can process the millies, maybe a meal or anyone, and then you can have your own brand. They can pick it for you, or you can pick it for yourself. Depends what type of investment do you have. But owning a trademark is much better than actually just having the fruit. I mean, let's say you produce oranges. Oranges will be always oranges, and you cannot own the rights over oranges. It's all about as soon as a person buys them from you, they can do anything they want with them. If they buy it from you for 5 rands, they can sell it for 50 rands. You've got nothing to do about it, as much as
Yeah.
you are a
Yeah.
producer. But if
Yeah.
you
So,
own a trademark, if they buy those oranges from you, and as long as they're still in your packaging and you have exclusive markets, for instance, like there's a brand called Freshmark in Showbright. We started working on that together with them, and I realized that as much as they own the most percentage of the trademark, they make more money than the actual producers do. So we decided starting our own brands actually helps much better.
Yeah. It's like what Nestle was doing to the cocoa farmers. Did you see
Yeah.
that?
So
Yeah.
so so answer your question, Rev. I realized it's much better to own the farms and the factories and the trademarks. So that's the only thing that has been delaying me, because there's different laws in farming. There's different laws in actual setting up a factory itself, the process of processing the food into a finished product. For instance, taking tomato sauces and spices and all of that into a finished tomato sauce product. And then there is laws also on IP, on in terms of the label itself. For instance, for a quench, you have to make sure you comply with all the Muslim standards and the Jewish standards, and you have to make sure you comply to just general, let's say, general customer regulations, the Consumer Act, on how the standard of food must be. For instance, you're not allowed to put you're not allowed to put an orange on your juice if the orange is not actually there. That they say you're deceiving people, and they say that there's a health risk for that, because someone who is after an orange, if it's actually not there, and then they find out the product wasn't working for them. And so there's a lot of other rules that you have to comply with, the wording on the actual products. For instance, those bottles that you have, Michelle, and all of that. The barcodes and all the words, the ingredients, the nutritional information. All the type of stuff. This is very highly regulated, and you have to make sure you comply with all of that before you can actually get your product in the shelf. So it's a long process. I think if we want to start a campaign, we would have to start with something that is less regulated, and then the sooner we can get that up and running, the sooner it can make money for us. But otherwise, to start in the commercial side of things, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
that's a question I have for you. I think, let's say a youngster is watching this, or was anybody who wants to start a business from scratch. Now, I mean, you've had a couple of, I mean, you got real world on the ground experience with trying to get things off the ground, and you're in that middle zone now where it's like terrifying. Things are either going to work or they're going to crash and burn. But even to get to that point is hard, to that middle ground. But just reverse to for someone who's got nothing but an idea. They're sitting at home on their couch, and they don't know what do they do. They've got this idea, whatever it is. How do they move from having an idea to entering that terrifying zone? Because it's better to be in the terrifying zone than to be stuck, on that couch with nowhere to go, nothing to do but this idea in your head. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's better to be in the battle than to sit on the sidelines not knowing how to start.
Yes. Yeah, the bad stage is the most difficult, really. To be where I am right now, actually, I'm more relieved. If you can realize back from maybe, let's say, 2 years ago compared to now, I look a little bit more relaxed, because it's actually much better to be here than to be in the bad stage, because that is where you are full of passion and you're so sure, and you have most in cases people who have ideas have not tried to make them work. That's why it remains an idea, because if it's still an idea, it means that you haven't actually worked on it to try and push it to something. It's something that you can point and say, this is my work. So now to move from bad stage to a startup where you actually have something, at least maybe you have a little office, you have that email, that business email, and you have that, maybe you have one person working for you or anything. As long as you are doing something, it's kind of a very difficult process, because you kind of need some mentoring there. You need guidance. But I would say the first thing to do is to scrap your business plan, because one thing that delayed me a lot was the business planning. Because you plan and you plan and you plan and you watch all these courses, everybody who has done big work and everybody who has done incredible things is keep on telling you, don't do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. And you always trying to perfect your business plan, because you're thinking at one point your business plan will be perfect, and then you're going to be ready to launch your project. But the problem is with that, it never happens. Every time you upgrade, you update your business plan all the time. So you never want to start scrappy, because you think success lies on your business plan being perfect. So I think the first step would be put your business plan aside. You got an idea, get on the ground and start working on it. Let's say you think, I want to start selling sweets, and then you start to look around, what do you need to make sweets? And then you get on that, speak to people who have made sweets. Maybe there's a machine that you need, or there's some sort of ingredients. Even if it's scrappy, maybe you ask someone to sell you their old machine, or you borrow it, or you rent it, whichever way. But it's much more better to speak to someone who is doing something. Like, maybe let's say you are an investor, you would be more interested in somebody who is doing something than someone who is actually still thinking. So if maybe you're sitting at home and you have got this wonderful idea, the only way to know if it can work or not is just to start. Just start working on something. Put away the business plan. If you think you can do it, just start doing it. And then there is a few steps that I would say that will guide everybody. Maybe let's say you want to decide on how do you want to be registered. You can be a private company, or you can be partnership, or you can be a closed corporation, or a public company, which is more expensive. I wouldn't advise anybody as a startup to think of a public company. But mostly private companies like PTYs is the first step. If you can incorporate your idea, because that separates the risk from you and the company. For instance, if you borrow money and you do anything, you do any business, your money and your company's money will be separated. Your liabilities and your company's liabilities would be separated. And I think that's the first thing everybody has to know, that your business and you must be two separate individuals.
There you go,
Because
Michelle. It's like a
I
business
was gonna
anti-nut.
say, I was gonna say.
So you have a business that you're running.
No, no, no. I'm punting anti-nuptial contracts because a lot of people a lot of young couples are like being told to get married and stuff, and men and women don't understand how necessary it is to get that ANC so that they can have, because if your husband or your wife's going to start a business, you're if you're married in community of property, all their debt is your debt. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
at least this way you won't lose the house. But
yeah,
so it's, yeah. So if you're doing like a business, you say like a PTY, making sure that if you lose your business, you won't lose your house, that kind of thing.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
yeah, so that's that kind of safety nets that a lot of people don't realize that are out there, because they just get such bad advice. And that's cool that you're giving that advice so that people realize you don't have to lose everything. Obviously, like, give your whole soul to the passion, the dream, but you don't have to lose everything. You don't have to be on the streets,
yes,
that kind of
yes.
thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry. And
so
that was
I think it's about people understanding a difference between being an entrepreneur and being self-employed. Um, I
mm,
was self-employed for a long time. That is why most of my things didn't move at the speed that I always desired to move. Because if you are self-employed, it means you are an employee to yourself. If you don't work, nothing works. If I'm sitting here and I was self-employed, the factory wouldn't be running. Nobody would be busy or waking up every day and sending me emails or doing anything on my behalf or anything. So I had to first work on making sure that me being away doesn't close my emails, doesn't close anything from happening, doesn't stop anything from happening. So most of us, when we in the idea stage, when we start to move, we move with the mentality of being self-employed into the entrepreneurial space. As an entrepreneur, you have to understand that you still can be away. There are a few things that you can be self-employed for. Um, some of them you can be qualified, then you call a professional. For instance, a lawyer can be self-employed, but they are professional. They need license for that. But some of the things that you don't need to be professional for, they can still make you money. Let's say maybe a motivational speaker. Someone who's a motivational speaker, if they're not there, nobody's going to be speaking. So they are the business themselves. But there are models that you can create for that. Maybe you can call a group of speakers and start speaking fame, for instance. Or maybe you can be a musician, you can sing yourself. But if they book you and you don't pitch up, nobody is going to sing on your behalf. You are the artist, but you can also start a record label if you prefer, and then a group of musicians can be part of that. So you can just be one of the shareholders. So we have to understand that you can either be an entrepreneur with your idea, or you can be self-employed. So sometimes we want to be self-employed, but we also wanted the benefits of being an entrepreneur. So an entrepreneur is someone who can be away for a month or a three, and the company still operates, the business still operates. But a
yeah.
self-employed person cannot be absent. If they're absent, no money comes in or no work gets done. So I think that's the first step. Registering a company and trying to have things running separately from you. As much as you are the heart of the company, you are the engine that keeps it running. But you must also learn how to impart responsibilities and delegate all the time, and push people to do their work, so that at one point you don't need to be there for things to get done. So unfortunately, we will never have enough time at the starting stage of a business idea. You will never have enough time for everything. That is why you definitely need people to do that for you. So if you are thinking, okay, I'm going to start doing something, and then you're going to receive a lot of phone calls, and you're going to try and pitch up in all these meetings, but unfortunately you cannot handle everything. So you definitely need to be in one place at a time, and then somebody else has to cover something. Maybe let's say you got two funding opportunities, one is in Cape Town, one is in Joburg, and you have now to choose which one is which, and you cannot turn neither of them down unless you have information on which one is more possible. So you that is impossible. You cannot predict the future. You cannot know until you go into that meeting and you actually pitch your idea. Then they can tell you, okay, look, we like your idea, or they say, no, sorry, we're not gonna fund this idea. But the only way to find out is to at least cover both meetings. And sometimes you cannot. They are at the same time in two different geographic locations. But if you are operating as a company, you can send someone that side, and then they will say, I'm representing ABC Company Pty Limited, instead of saying I'm representing Lungelo Mkhize, because if the business is actually me, they will say they want to speak to me. So
Yeah.
it's the best thing is to try and separate the concept from the person, so that the concept can work as an individual on its own. So then the third thing that you will need to do is to definitely build a brand. I've done that mistake many times. I thought it's not important. I thought the product was more important. You can have the product, but if nobody associates with a specific brand, actually people buy brands because they start relationships with brands. Some people just drink Coca-Cola because that's the brand that rings in their mind, not because of they are aware what they're drinking or they like it or whatever, but because Coca-Cola has invested so much money trying to create a brand that people can associate with. So I think that's the last thing. Your idea must have something that people can call it, that is memorable, that they can remember easily, that they can associate with, and that is what is going to leave a mark wherever you go. It's going to speak for you, even if you're not there. The brand is that which, even if you're not speaking about it, the brand will speak for you about your products, because yes, you are trying to sell the product, but how are you going to make sure that the product is always in people's minds? The only way you can do it is to make sure that you have a brand. So call your business idea or your product or your service something that people can always remember. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult, because everybody's trying to do what you're doing. The only way you can be different is by building a different brand, something that people can always remember.
Hmm. Great advice. I like it. I have learned a little bit, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of
Oh.
wisdom on Lungelo. Lots and
Yeah, it
lots.
sounds like how long have you been doing this for now?
How long have I been failing? 5 years. How long have I been successful? Maybe 6 months.
Is it really failing if you're getting successful? At least like the biggest thing is at least you tried and you're getting better at it. It would suck if you were still not getting better at it, but you're getting better at it. So, is it really failing if you're getting better at it?
But wait for
Well, it
this,
depends.
Michelle. How old
Hey?
are you, Lungelo?
I'm 24.
He's
Ah,
24 years old.
just a
Can you?
year older than me, I am.
Yeah, like it's funny. You know how you think your life is over and you failed and that's the um and you like in your 20s. I remember going through that where I was like, I don't know how my brain allowed that pattern of thought where it thought, okay, I've messed up too much now. There's no coming back from this. And meanwhile, I mean, as you get older and wiser, like I'm 48 now, and I'm like thinking, I could. I could easily start a business now. What do you say, Mish? What do you want to say?
I watched a thing today. I think it was Al Talks. I think it was a group of psychologists, or I'm not sure which ones, but they were talking about how dangerous self-hate is, and the self-hate is what maybe probably what you thought why you couldn't carry on, why you were over.
You know
It's
what?
like your internal
Hit
voice
pause.
that's like always hitting
I'm
on
going
you.
to
Yeah.
restart the stream, and I think what we're going to talk about tonight is coming is like dealing with the fear of failure. Huh? Let's make that our
Yeah,
subject. Are you ready for that? Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
great.
So I'm going to end the broadcast so I can rename it. Boop.
All right. All right.